Alright, here's what happened this week in North Carolina politics. Pretty quiet in Raleigh right now, and the reason is because no one wants to be in the office. Seriously, once again, nothing is happening in our state legislature right now. The place is a ghost town because the leaders of our legislature just don't feel like working right now. They sent a couple of bills over to Governor Stein last week and then called it a day, and they're not going to be in the office again until the end of the month. I mean, we only pay these guys $14,000 a year, so you kind of get what you pay for, but even still. Governor Stein took action on some of those bills, and we'll get to that in a second, but first, the state of North Carolina still does not have a budget. Once again, this is pretty remarkable because Republicans hold controlling majorities in both chambers of our legislature, so this isn't like a Republicans versus Democrats thing. Republicans themselves cannot agree on what they want to do, and basically no one is working on it right now. There's no one working in Raleigh. They're all back home in their districts. But you may have noticed they are still passing some bills. For example, the legislature passed and then overrode Governor Stein's veto of Duke Energy's bill to raise our energy rates. And they passed the REINS Act from the big corporate lobby to block regulation on big business. And of course, they're still trying to take more powers away from the governor, too. Now ask yourself, why are they willing to pass bills like that, but they aren't even working on a budget for the state, which is literally the state legislature's main job? The answer is the same reason why you look busy when your boss is standing over your shoulder. Our state legislature is pay to play, and corporate lobbyists paid for a lot of those lawmakers' campaigns, so the politicians they bought prioritized their bills before everything else. So with the current leaders of our legislature, a bill for Duke Energy moves, while a bill for teacher pay kind of goes nowhere. So even though Republicans are deadlocked about a full state budget, they sent Governor Stein what they're calling a mini-budget last week, and he signed it this week. And this budget really is mini. It's only about 3% of the state's total operating needs, so not a lot of credit to give here. Think about it this way. If your goal were to worsen people's experiences with state government and stop things from working properly and block things like higher teacher pay, you wouldn't necessarily propose a new bill to do that stuff. That kind of thing gets the attention of reporters and voters alike. Instead, what you do is not pass any budget at all, because that way fewer voters would notice, and you can just sit around and complain about stuff all day without fixing or building anything, which is not very constructive, but is definitely easier. And when you realize that, the pattern of behavior in our state legislature begins to make sense. As always, judge these people in both parties by what they do, not what they say. Be warned, you only have 3 more weeks of watermelon milkshake season. Use your time wisely. Have a great weekend.